You're listening to Level Up with Melissa Zalouf from Iron Source.
So, welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Level Up live from Gamefest. We are in the middle of a desert, in the middle of a crater, in a tent with a full-on dance party going on around us. With me, I have 4 really cool professionals from the game industry who are going to be discussing in-app bidding and the future of app monetization. No big deal. And now I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves. Jane, do you want to go first?
Yeah, my name is Jane. I'm from Gameloft, doing ad monetization.
Hi, I'm Sophia. I'm managing ad monetization and Social Point.
My name is Andrew Stone. I'm the CEO of Random Logic Games, and I'm handling a number of things at Random Logic, but monetization is one of those things.
I'm Shanil Dio. I'm the CEO of Halfbrick, and I do dabble in ad monetization and many other things.
Awesome. So my first question for you guys is this, perhaps a little bit provocative. Is in-app bidding solving a problem that you guys are facing or that the game industry is facing? Oh, Andrew, I see lots of nodding. Jane, you want to go first? No?
Well, the thing that it's helping with is the manual effort, for sure. And the probably a lot of testing that people are doing to optimize the waterfall, to understand which network performs best, where, and all this stuff.
Sophia?
Well, definitely solving one problem for our UA team, which will allow them to see transparently what impression they want to bid, and if they want to get a first view, second, or any other view they want. I think it's amazing.
So it's not just an ad monetization thing. It's
Definitely.
good for
I think we should
business.
totally look into the whole wide loop of ad monetization, UA, and product.
Yes, it's definitely solving a big problem. We spend a ton of time, energy, and money trying to solve this monetization problem, fiddling with waterfalls, and it's a welcome change to the industry for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, I think for our teams, it's really the automation part and the ability to experiment really quickly to see how we can, get that lift in monetization. So,
what are some of the hesitations you think developers might have in transitioning to an in-app bidding environment?
I think definitely one of the hesitations is going to be with Iron Source and really all providers of this type of header bidding solution. The number of networks on each platform is still fairly low at the moment. So until we get to a point where like a large number of the main networks can provide bidding, then we're not really feeling the full effect of this in-app bidding. So there's kind of a hybrid approach going on at the moment. So the faster we get to a point where the big players and all players really are bidding like this, the better.
How long do you think it will take before you guys will see sort of meaningful impact on your bottom line from in-app bidding?
Hopefully not very long. Maybe probably the next 3 months as Facebook comes online with Iron Source and as a number of other large partners come online. It's going to become more and more of a part of the strategy.
I expect quite a big impact to happen once one of the big players also joins header bidding or in-app bidding, sorry. We have a bunch of players right now, but we are lacking the meaningful, powerful ad networks in the stack. Once this happens, I'm sure we'll see the impact.
Jane?
Well, for now, the main hesitation again is hybrid. So it's still going to be the A/B testing and guesstimating what is better, header bidding or SDK, what to put first, what performs best, and it's not going to solve, again, the whole problem, unless everybody gets on board.
I think it's going to be longer than 3 months. I mean, I've been waiting for 2 years.
We have an optimist and a pessimist here.
I'm actually an optimist. So 1 year, I'd say, before enough players come on board where we really have enough trust and confidence that, there's enough people really competing.
Part of in-app bidding is obviously a big part of it is a move towards automation, which to a certain degree involves sort of like less hands-on control from you guys or your teams. Do you think that we'll ever see sort of a completely transitioned model, fully automated, just in-app bidding, or will hybrid to a certain degree continue on into the future? Jane?
I think that everybody is gonna shift to in-app bidding only when user acquisition is gonna start buying on CPM. That's gonna be the ultimate end of the waterfalls. And like for as long as it's gonna be still CPI, it's gonna be sort of a mixture or prediction algorithms of the networks, but still not pure bidding.
To be honest, I think I'm a more pessimistic side here. I think we're looking at the moonshot, and this will happen for sure, but I really don't think it happened next year.
Got nothing from the boys. One of the things you mentioned, well, it's come up a few times now, is how in-app bidding is going to impact other areas of game growth like UA. Any sort of, do you think it'll also impact other areas beyond UA? Jane is thinking.
I think that it's gonna impact brand advertising at some point because brands are gonna be able to bid more efficiently, and they're gonna actually get the sweet spot there because they're actually CPM, not the CPM predicted.
Some nodding from Andrew, but he doesn't want to chime. He just agrees. So now a more general question, last one on this topic about ad monetization. One of the things that's sort of been coming up in this year's Gamefest and just more generally is ad monetization as part of product experience. It's not a layer that you add on, no pun intended, later. It's part of game design from the start. Do you agree with that statement?
It definitely helps if you take that strategy, right? So we've got games in our portfolio where we've spent a lot of time after the fact adding in ads, and we've done both. So then we also have games where from the very beginning we've paid close attention to the ad strategy from the very beginning. Both can be successful, but obviously the as you integrate them earlier in the cycle, it definitely is beneficial.
I'd agree with that. We'd love to integrate from the start, but from experience, it generally never happens. The developers are too focused on game design, gameplay, and it's always an afterthought. So I think it's something that we're trying to bring closer, to the initial inception of the game, but it's always something you have to fight for.
I would say defining strategy is important. I think maybe after, before the soft launch or so, but we definitely did have a good success case where once we integrated before the global launch, we've seen amazing results on that monetization compared to all other games where we just, adding up placements on top of what we have. So yeah, I completely agree with the guys.
In the end of the day, ad monetization is monetization, and it's an alternative payment method. And it's you don't integrate in-app purchases in the end, no. So, also depends on the game heavily. Of course, if it's hardcore IP focused game, then it's gonna get less attention. But to do it properly, you need to do it from the beginning.
Last question, not related to in-app bidding or monetization. What has been your favorite part of Gamefest so far? You can start. You're holding the mic.
I've got the mic. For me, it was actually the last presentation on creatives. It really opened my eyes to just how much you can impact the whole equation by getting creatives right and just making them work for you.
The party.
I would say that the roundtables yesterday were extremely impactful. Of course, all the talks were wonderful, but I would say a lot of developers were extremely candid in those roundtables. I learned a lot from my peers in the industry, and it was just really valuable.
I loved all the sessions, but I think what I really enjoyed were the roundtables, because that's a really good chance to kind of meet up with the developers and discuss extremely important topics like we discussed today. So that was my favorite.
Just not to repeat, I'm gonna say that I liked Or's presentation about the rewarded video and IAP. About the user psychology when they're playing the game and how they're using rewarded video.
Nice. Thank you very much, guys. You are all now released to continue having fun, drinking if you so choose, and
Thank
dancing.
You.